Because you grew up with your mum when you were 2, when your dad wasn't in your life, and you grew up with your mum, what's that relationship like with you and your mum?
Oh, she is the most beautiful soul. I mean, we had some challenges in our childhood, and I don't think, if it wasn't for the strength of my mother's love, I wouldn't be a grounded person with, you know, my shit together. We could have all my sisters could have so easily gone off the rails, but because of her consistent and pervasive love for us, you're
pretty normal.
Okay.
Yeah. I think because my parents split up when I was 5, and it wasn't like a really bad split or anything, but because Dad wasn't like a consistent in our life, I feel like I've lived out things as I've got older, because, you know, you make those decisions when you're a little girl. You know, I always think, oh my God, how am I going to stuff up my kids? But you make those decisions and you live them out. And I find even in my relationship now, my partner will have to go, that's not an issue with me, that's with your dad. Mm-hmm. Do you find that not having your dad around has played out in your relationships?
Oh, certainly for a long time, yeah. And we also had other male role models that weren't, you know, particularly nice.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, there was a lot of picking relationships that had some sort of emotional absence to them.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I think there was definitely a kind of, again, that I'm always very fascinated with the age of 0 to 7, but what is familiar to yourself in that time period is usually what you kind of are attracted to, or what you feel comfortable and familiar with as you get older. So, you know, for that period there was no father around, so an absent male figure was what I knew to be the world.
Yes.
And there was also a violent male figure, so there was this kind of mix of the absent male and the violent male, and that was what I learnt.
So you kind of had to teach yourself, that's not what all men are. You would have to, because you would have just assumed that's the way it is, and that's the norm with relationships.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes, I'm not married, and I don't go into it, but I know there's probably issues there why I don't want to get married. But in my head I go, I know if I went down to it, I think probably all men leave. That's just the way it is.
Sure,
Dad left,
sure.
You know, my mum was in a relationship and they would break up and he would come back. And so in my mind, I'm like, oh, they just all leave. Even though I consciously know that they don't, because I was so young, that's kind of in there somewhere.
And it's really difficult to reprogram that sometimes.
Totally.
Because it's been impressed on your system at such a young age, when there's no mental faculty to kind of rationalise it. It's just how it feels. It's just how it is. It's kind of interesting, really.